Hello, everyone. This is Milton Herring, Vice President of Coaching at Fundamental Growth, also a co-founder of Spout Enterprises and founder-president of Envision Life Incorporated. Now I'm about to be an author of a new book titled Your Purpose, Your App: How to Start Living on Purpose and Be Connected to Your Desired Destination in Life. And today's online training session, part 3, is the art of living on purpose with a plan. And I'm excited about this one because it means so much to me in my life, and I'm going to share my story in a what I want to share with you is that the art of living on purpose. I like the quote I came up with. It says, "A life of purpose is a life well lived. A life of purpose is a life well lived." So when you get to the end of your life and you maybe you're old in age or on a sick bed or in a hospital, and you want to know, did I live well? And I guarantee you that you're going to ask the questions: was my life on purpose? Did I live on purpose? And when you get to the end of your life, I want you to be able to answer this question: was my life on purpose, and was it well lived? And I want to allow me to stress the importance of living on purpose. This is truly where your peace, your joy, and prosperity, happiness is. If you have never asked the question, what is my purpose for living? I want to encourage you to ask the question now. And then take about 15 minutes, sit down in a quiet place where you can listen. It's kind of seclude yourself, whether it's in your home or a distant remote place, or somewhere where you need to go to be by yourself, and so you can kind of think and reflect. And I've added a prayer for you to say, because I believe that when you pray, you allow yourself to, you open yourself up to being inspired by a greater source, which is God. And so if we're to say the prayer is, "God, I thank you for hearing my prayer. It is your good pleasure that I know what my purpose in life is, and I thank you for giving me answers. Amen." The next thing we want to look at is, as you as you say that prayer, that you would write or type on something, write on something, type on something that you can record your thoughts. I've used in the past a journal, and I recently started using, to record my thoughts on online journal on my computer, my PC, and that's really helped me out quite a bit. And I've asked those questions: God, what is my purpose for living? You've already thanked Him for giving you your purpose. Now you continue on with the process. What is my purpose for living? And you want to write down everything unfiltered that comes to your mind. So if you're asking this question, "God, what is my purpose for living?" and you have a thought of a book or a color comes to mind, or an animal, or a building, or your family, whatever's coming to your mind, unfilter that, and basically put it out on paper, flesh it out, write it out, or type it, whatever comes to your mind. And if you find yourself drifting in your thoughts, just ask the question again. When you ask the question, it brings you back to the present and allows you to be aware of what's going on with you in the moment. So if you find yourself drifting in your thoughts, or you're not getting everything you want, just continue to ask the question: God, what is my purpose for living? Now, the Creator God knows what your purpose is, and He's going to make sure He lets you know what that purpose is. So have confidence, have faith, and trust. And now only stop writing or fleshing it out when you have pulled an emotional response out of yourself. This is very key. When you find yourself getting very emotional about what's being written, that's when you can stop. That's when you know you've tapped into the sweet spot in your life. When you have gotten that emotional response and you're in tune with the answer you have written. For instance, mine was, when I asked this question, I write, and mine was really to inspire and help and teach other people. It was such a draw, such an emotional feeling that I had that, my eyes started to well up, and tears started to come from my eyes, because it was such a deep sense of yearning for me to follow that passion and follow that purpose. And I want you to think about it, and take some time when you get your answer. Think about it and thank God for at least 3 days after that. Don't try to do anything else. Don't try to say what's next yet. I just want you to, what I call, meditate on what the answers you have. I want you to think about it and thank God about it. Think about it and thank God about it every day for the next 3 days. Just thank you for giving me an answer. Thank you for allowing me to expose this in my life, and just continue to think about what you've written and meditate on it. And it's amazing. Anything that comes to you after that, again, Start over and write it down. Type it out. Flesh it out. And when you can comfortably move forward every day with a life on purpose, you will be on the road to have your best year ever. And no matter the past year's failed efforts or missed opportunities, all you need to do is stay grateful, stay in belief, and live, and move on purpose every day. If you haven't caught you need to do this. You need to stay grateful. Be grateful for your life. If you wake up in the morning, say thank you. Okay, if you have a family and they're all alive and well, say if you have some food on the table, car, you have gas in your vehicle, you have a roof that's over your head or a bed to even lie in, find something to be grateful for every single day. And you want to stay in belief. This is a conviction in your life that you believe with you know that you know. You believe. You will stand firm no matter what comes your way, that you believe that everything that the Creator God has purposed for you in your life is going to happen and it's going to come to pass. And you just live. Live with a life of love, laugh a lot, and just give more. And move on purpose every day. And I show you a picture of an accident because this reminds me, and I don't have any pictures of my own experience, my own story of having a similar accident, but it took at least three times for me to experience near death before it was really crystallized what my purpose in life was. My own life story is that I had my third accident that I was involved in. The last one was a trip in Texas that I took on a business trip, and I was leaving Max Lucado's church on a Wednesday night study, and headed back home. A nice elderly couple gave me and a friend a ride home, and we were talking about the study. We are talking about the great things about life and sharing our hearts, and then going down 75 to 80 miles per hour on the freeway, there was a truck right in front of us. Didn't notice anything different about it, but as we were continuing following this truck, we started to see it swerve just a little bit in its lane. And as it was going at the same rate of speed that we saw it swerving, but we didn't see that there was a utility truck, construction utility truck, parked up just ahead on the right. Well, the truck that was in front of us clipped the utility truck on the side of the road and spun directly in the freeway. Actually, it was 90 degrees from our angle. So we smashed without any hesitation or warning right into the side of it, split the truck. It wrapped around the front of the car we were in. Now, I have to admit that I wasn't wearing a seatbelt in the back. I was sitting in the back seat, the right passenger's back seat, and wasn't wearing a seatbelt. And I remember flying to the front of the car, and as we hit, I saw my whole life flash before my eyes. I saw everything that meant something good and whole and love in my life, and a lot of that was my wife and my children, and my extended family and my friends. And in an instance I saw it. Then I had this really calm sense of peace come over me. It wasn't a fear. It was very, very odd that there wasn't a fear or anxiousness. It was almost like I was ready to move on. And in that moment, I hit my head on the rearview mirror and the front windshield, and I thought I was dead. I thought everybody in the car was dead because of the speed that we were traveling and the impact that we had on the car in front of us. But I'm here to tell you that I made it, and we all survived. All four of us in the vehicle survived. Even the driver of the truck that we T-boned survived. Now, coming out of that accident, I did really ask myself, what is my purpose really in life, God? What is it? Why am I still here? And what am I to do? I evaluated my life. Did I live enough? Did I love enough on my family and other people? And did I give enough? And that was so important to me. That was so important to me that I had to come back home once I made it back home, and I started to flesh out what was important to me in my life. Now I had just missed from dying by inches. and probably even a few miles per hour faster. Um, but but in that same time during that trip, I was experienced such great highs in my career, winning a President's Club Award, which is the highest salesman award you could win in certain companies, and I was in medical sales. But even after the height of that victory, that award, my life was still incomplete, and I knew that I had to do more with my life, and thus sent me on the process to make some changes. And you have to have a plan. When you have a purpose, you need to have a plan. So after I fleshed it out and I wrote everything out that I needed to do, and I spent 3 days meditating and thanking God for it, I had to have a plan. And and you start with the plan by the why. Why do I want to? Why is this purpose important to me? And why am I doing this? If you can answer the question why you want to do it, it'll always stick with you and resound. You can always take yourself back to the why things are important to your life when things get challenging, things get tough in your life. And the how is as simple as following directions. If you can answer the why, crystallize the why, personalize the why, the how just follows. It's just a series of steps you need to do. Now, the one that I use and I like to use and share with others is the Courtin. And you can find the Courtin, even more information is where I'm VP of Coaching at fundamentalgrowth.com. But I'm going to show you a quick preview of what Courtin looks like. We start with the top of the page, and the first word we start with is envision. Now, these are a series of steps and principles that are used to pretty much put you on a path to growth. And if you follow these steps and the order that they are, starting with envision, then enlist, and work your way all the way around, you will find that you will have a great plan of action to work from. And it'll give you great confidence, great structure, great stability, and great direction. So number one, we start with envision. This is really finding out the why, making it real in your life. What's the vision? What's the goal? What's the plan? What do we want to accomplish? The next one is enlist, and you need to have a good team around you, the right people. Enlisting people onto your team. Communicate your vision to those you enlist. And how do you want to do that? There's creative ways to do it, but you got to do it boldly. You got to be very confident about what your vision is as you enlist your team. Those that are going to support you or those that are going to drive you. The next one is clarify. So everybody in the team clarifies what the vision is so that we're all on the same page. The next one is strategize. Okay, we're gonna start now doing our brain. We're going to brainstorm. What are the opportunities? What are the first thing priorities we need to do? What are some options that we need to consider to accomplish this vision? Next one is design. It's basically you're going to build a blueprint, the X's and O's. As a former collegiate athlete that I am, you're going to draw out the play. Who's going to go left? Who's going to go right? Assign the responsibilities. The next is implement. You got to put a date on it. You got to put a deadline on it, and you got to make sure you have some benchmarks already in place as you continue out, and make sure that whatever you do in implementing that it lines up with the vision. The next one is evaluate. Evaluate your process. Always continually evaluate short-term, long-term. Next one is adjust. Now, adjusting is sometimes the hardest for a lot of people that are visionaries, that are moving forward, because it takes courage to adjust, to know that something's not quite working, that I need to change and I need to move on and try something different. But it has to always continue. When you adjust, it lines up with your vision. And the next one is always increase. Always finding another peak to climb. Always looking for another project that can forge your movement, forge your purpose in life. Because I tell you, it's never an ending work. It's always continuing work. Your vision, your purpose is always continually moving, and there's always new opportunities to expand, to explore, and to implement your vision in life. Now, I wanted to let you know there's ways you can contact me through Facebook, Milton Herring, Twitter @MiltonHerring, or email maximizingmoments@gmail.com. You can go to websites, www.fundamentalgrowth.com, or visit my website at www.miltonherring.com and sign up for my free audio and video coaching. I have a phone number 801-690-3503. And also, if you haven't received the most popular video series on having your best year ever, please email maximizingmoments@gmail.com, and in the subject line say send me my videos, and we'll get those videos right over to you. Well, until next time, thank you for listening, and also please implement the strategies that are outlined and having your best year ever. 2012 is going to be your best year ever. God bless. We'll talk to you soon.